Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Network Merchandise Shop. Check out our large assortment of logo merch and our lifestyle collection as well. Just head over to abvnetwork.com and click on shop. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we complete a bracket challenge to determine our 2023 ABV Network Superfan Hall of Fame inductee. My name is McNew. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Jen Fossa, Wes Hardin, and Evan Van Scoik.
Hey gang, what's up?
How we doing?
Hello. McNew, do you actually have any idea what we're doing right now?
I do now. Yeah.
We just went through an extended between show thing where, McNew made like 8 lists. I don't know what's on all the other lists that you made. But
One's a shopping list.
Right, yeah. So,
Amazon list.
I'm good. Yes, got it.
All right. Well, McNew, you did say there's something you wanted to talk about. What is that?
Okay. So if you guys order a cocktail at a bar, a restaurant, maybe like a local restaurant that's newish, say it's like an old fashioned or a Manhattan, which could be easy to screw up. If it's bad, do you send it back or do you suck it up and drink it? Or what do you do when that cocktail is bad?
I feel like there's risk. It's like going to the grocery store getting produce. I don't take back, a cantaloupe because it's bad. There's a risk there. And the same thing with cocktails. There's good cocktails and there's bad. If you want to hedge your bet, always go to Molly Wellman's place or somebody who's a great bartender. And if not, you're just rolling the dice. And if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it sucks for you right then. But what are you going to do? Is what I say. Well, yeah. What do you think, Wes? You'd send that thing back?
No, never send it back, especially a cocktail. Like at some point, there's no purpose in it. To me, you're in one of two categories. If you're going to a high-end bar with professional mixologists and bartenders, 9 times out of 10, if you get a cocktail you don't like, it's simply because you've ordered something new that you haven't had, and there's an ingredient that doesn't set well with you, whatever it is, vermouth or an aperitif, or it could be the whiskey they use, or maybe it's not a whiskey drink. Or you're going to just a bar and you're maybe watching a ball game or shooting pool. And at that point, you're not really probably ordering cocktails. You're ordering whatever that bartender's opinion of a cocktail is, and however he or she's been improperly trained to make an old fashioned or a Manhattan. So to me, unless I'm going to a bar that has well-trained professional mixologists, I either order a whiskey neat or I'll just do like a Makers and Diet or something like that, where I know what I'm going to get. I'm going to get a watered down Makers and Diet. I'm okay with it. I've drank a million of them. I'm good with that, especially in the setting where I'm listening to music or playing pool or doing something like that. If I want to go and get a professional cocktail, I'm going to go to the places where professionals make cocktails. And if I don't like it, typically it's because I've ordered something I've never had before and I just simply don't like it. And that's on me.
It's not really their fault. Right.
It's not their fault. It's my fault. So no, I don't send stuff back.
All right. Evan, what about you? You send stuff back?
No, never really a sender back. If there's anything that they could do to potentially correct it, though, I wouldn't be opposed.
Oh,
but
God. Yeah.
I mean, with a cocktail, you're probably just going to have to drink it. Or you just leave it sitting there. Like, if they made it too weak and you could be like, hey, it's a little weak, could you add a splash? Like, if you're sitting at the bar, if you're at back like a table, you might as well, you take the loss.
Right. Yeah. Jim, how about you, man?
So in general, I'm not a send it back guy, but I had a specific thing. My son just graduated college in December, and we had like an hour wait for a table for dinner after graduation, and we're sitting at the bar, and my son and I order Manhattans, and the guys at the other end of the bar are making the Manhattan, and I see him grab dry vermouth, and I'm trying to call to him, but it's a crowded bar. Like everybody, it's a small town, so everybody's at this bar waiting for a table. So, and he brings it over. I'm like, I hate to be an ass, but like it's supposed to be sweet vermouth, not dry vermouth. Like what? It's like no, that's what I did. I go, no, you grab the green bottle. I promise you, that was dry vermouth. So that's probably the only time in my life I returned a cocktail. But I literally tried to call it out as he was doing it, but he just couldn't hear me. So
it just didn't happen. Yeah.
In general, no, I either won't drink it or I'll suck it up and drink it if it's something that I'm trying something new and I don't like it, or I don't like the way they made it. But that one was a little different. Like they just didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah.
Fair.
McNew, you asked the question. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so we have a new bar in town, which I want to love, I want to support, but it depends on who the bartender is. Like sometimes you get a great fucking bartender, and sometimes I'm like, what the fuck did I get? But I'm still going to drink it because I'm like, I guess there's still alcohol in there. It's doing its purpose that I ordered it for. So I'm like, I'm still going to drink it, but I'm not happy about it. But when it's too weak or something, I'll just be like, hey, can you bring me a single pour of whatever? And I'll just add it to my cocktail at my table secretly. And they'll charge me whatever. I don't care. But I'm like, I never send it back. But I have been at a table with people that send it back. And I think that's embarrassing. And I'm like, just fucking drink it or don't. Drink it or don't.
Well, I've worked in bars and restaurants, and I know what they do to things that get sent back. Like
there you go.
I've seen the movie Waiting. I'm not sending.
There's the truth.
Yeah.
I am not sending a damn thing back, but I'll just order something else to fix it myself, I guess. But I know not to order that in the future, I guess.
Yeah.
From that.
I went to a bar one time, and the bartender being someone I'd fired like 6 months previous from a different job. And all my buddies ordered cocktails. I'm like, I'll take a beer and a bottle with the top on it. I'll twist it off myself because I know that guy had done anything to my drink to like.
Yeah, some Visine in there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, Waiting does a number on you if you've seen that 2003, 2004 movie Waiting. Never send anything back, guys. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Yeah. All right. Well, guess what? It is time to drink. What is everyone drinking? I'm going to go first. Tomorrow's St. Patrick's Day. I'm going to get it started early. I've got Fighting 69th Irish whiskey here. How about that? Fighting 69th. Here we go. Oh, explosive.
That was good.
Are you guys okay? Has that impacted their hearing? If there's any blood coming out of your ear, please attend to that first, and we'll let you do the cork pop when you get back, okay?
I just didn't know we were doing the Irish daily. I had to pick something else.
Wes, how about you, man? What do you got?
I don't have anything Irish, but I am going to dip back into this brand new bottle of Green River's First Bourbon.
Okay, Mike Muffle again. I don't know what's going on there, man.
I feel like this is so good.
Mike Muffle.
Yeah. Don't hear it because of Mike.
How is that? You tried it the last time. How is it? So you're talking about a $35 bourbon, not doing any sort of rapid age, man. I'll tell you what. For a company that hung their hat on, this is the way to go.
Wow.
Man, they've distanced themselves from that. Their marketing says there's no rapid aging in this and stuff like that. I mean, it literally is like they're telling you, even though they've rebranded themselves as a different company, there's no rapid aging involved here.
Yeah, I'll say I think I paid $35.99 for this bottle.
Yeah, it's a good price. Yeah,
it's a great price point. The bottle is really cool. It's actually shaped like a horseshoe.
It looks great.
It's over 5 years old, which a lot of companies will release younger, and doesn't mean it's bad, but they decided to let it sit and let it sit. I think it's really good. It's probably going to be one of my go-to. For $35, it's about as close to a daily sipper as you can.
When I saw, I haven't been a fan of the rapid age stuff. I didn't like it. I'll be honest, I did not like it. And I haven't been a fan of that company as such either. But I'm willing to give them a second chance. And I think that round two, I think they've done it right. And then we need to write off. They were doing what they had to do to stay in business. And what bothers me just a little bit is they're still doing that with contract companies. So there's still companies that they're doing that rapid age stuff, but not, man, they're very clear. Nothing that they're putting out under the Green River label is rapidly aged.
Yeah. So. This stuff is really good. It's to me, it's quintessential Kentucky bourbon. Great. It's got a really great nose to it. The bottle I've got is 90 proof. I think they got a bottled and bond coming out. It's got, it drinks a little heavier, a little hotter than a 90 proof. So
it'll be
double
interesting to
thumbs up
see what happens, Wes. If now they might not want to talk to me, but for years I wouldn't. They've been wanting to come on the show, but I wouldn't bring them on because I don't want to rip on them. I mean, that's their product, and they've elected. To
I would bring them on. I think there's a great history there.
Yeah, I agree, and I with the second chance, I just didn't want to have them on, and I didn't want to be negative myself, so I didn't allow them to come on. So now I'm willing to, but they might be like, "You were a tool to us." So I get that.
I don't know.
I really feel at the end of the day I was being nice to them because I don't think I would have been great on the interview. But
I think at the end of the day, a lot of those companies have short histories with that kind of stuff. And right now they're in, they have just released their first aged bourbon that is hitting mass at $39.99. It's only going to hit the market at mass. It's not a limited release.
Right.
They're trying to get shelf space and a lot of shelf space and as many markets as they can get into and as much as they can get the word out. I mean, they're doing podcast after interview left and right. So I think they would definitely come on. And I think there's a great history with that distillery.
Oh, yeah.
And his family, Jacob Call's family has a really deep distilling history as it is. And they may even send you a bottle, and this stuff is actually really good. Yeah, it's definitely a good. If you guys see Green River out there, grab a bottle. You'll thank me later. It's really
grab
good.
a bottle. There you go.
Yep.
This program brought to you by Green River Distilling.
Green River Distilling.
That's the information I needed because I saw it come out and I was like, eh. But
Yeah, you should grab it.
Yeah, I think it's worth getting.
Yeah, that's great news.
All right, McNew, how about you? Where? Excuse me, I'm just ending the show.
What
right
am I
there.
drinking?
I was going to say, where can people find you? You're done. I'm kicking you off.
We have not
What are you drinking? What are you drinking? I've got the lead, by the way.
I have some Bond and Lillard.
Okay. Nah, nothing there. It sounded like you hit the table. It was louder than that.
Yeah, I kind of did.
All right, Evan, you're next. What do you got?
All right, I am breaking out last year's 5-year from Still 630. So this is Rally Point Rye 5-year for 2021.
Okay, that was good. Not as good as mine. Mine was explosive. So I am actually ahead of Evan here. How about that? The first time he could lose one. Well, he's going to lose here. He's not going to win. So, Jim, you're between me and victory. What do you got?
I got a Willow bottle of 10th Mountain, so I don't know how much this is going to do. We'll see. Okay. Decent. Nice bass. Nice sound to it. Not enough to win, though. Not enough to win. So, yeah, it goes to me. So, victorious. Cheers, gang.
Cheers.
You broke Evan straight. Cheers.
Dethroned.
All right. We'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, we've got this bracket challenge. First, we need to set up the bracket, though. So we'll do that in just a few. Hello, this is Steve Akeley of the ABV Network. Let's talk about the people who make this show happen. First up is Leatherwood Distillery in Pleasant View, Tennessee. Company founder Andy Lang started distilling as a hobby while serving his country as an elite Green Beret. Andy distilled all over the world during his time in the military and brought this passion back to him in the U.S. when he returned home. A visit to Leatherwood combines Andy Lang's unique distilled spirits and a museum of artifacts from his time serving the U.S. Share a drink with a fallen soldier at their bar where you can grab an acrylic bio off the wall that celebrates the individuals who gave the ultimate sacrifice to protect his or her country. They will also ship their distilled spirits directly to you, so check them out at leatherwooddistillery.com. Hi, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network. We're sponsored by the Stave and Thief Society. This is where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge a bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification program available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Okay, let's talk about Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent visits to Kentucky. Today, he's leading the way for young distillers making their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery combines family history, a look at what makes their products unique, and of course a tasting through their whiskeys, moonshines, and creams. Check them out at neelyfamilydistillery.com and visit them in Sparta, Kentucky. right, great job today, gang. For audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. We'll be mailing again, once again. Take care, everybody. See ya.
Happy Festivus.
Later.
Bye, guys.
Happy Festivus.
Cheers.
Yeah, happy Festivus.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we have the next bracket challenge of ABV Network Superfans.
Yes, we are. So we'll do a bracket challenge, and whoever wins the bracket challenge tonight goes into the Superfan Hall of Fame. They'll join the Robinsons. We only put one person or couple. There are some people that go in as couples in this thing. And it's just based on, Jim had asked about that on the previous show. It's just based on, the individuals. Do they come on as an individual ABV Network stuff, or do they always come on as a couple? So we put the couples together, and the Robinsons end up winning year one. So year two has everyone from year one that didn't make it, and then those that were voted in just in the show that came out yesterday. So just as a reminder, our 2021 inductees were Rick the Legend Brenner, Dana the Dreamer Six, the Ewalds, Mandy Kaplan, Danny Kennard, Kevin Majors, and Bob Whitlatch. Those are all eligible to be ABV Network Superfan Hall of Famers. So, of course, those individuals are joined by Bill Lewis, Tony Friend, Heidi, Kaylee, Kathy Cool, Brian Murphy, Tim Wheeler, and George Rose. Those are the folks that made it in just yesterday. So how we're doing this, a little round robin thing here. I'll call your name. It's just 2 rounds. Evan, we're going to start with you. Who you're picking here, you're not eliminating someone like we did yesterday when we were going through by name. You are putting someone in the bracket challenge. So again, they're not in the Hall of Fame. They're just getting the opportunity to get into the Hall of Fame. So who is your person that you're picking first here? Just pick one. We'll come back around to you at the end of round 2.
I'm adding Rick the Legend Brenner to the bracket.
Okay. The legend is in there. All right. And I have a mixed up bracket here with the numbers already set. So as you guys call them out, it is random how they go on here, because I did that pre-draw earlier. All right. Next person to put someone in the bracket is Wes. Wes?
I am going to put Bob Whitlatch in.
Bob Whitlatch. Okay. All right. Yes, it's good to attend Wes's events. So Bob Whitlatch, on Wes's events, I think that helps him out here. You got to play to your judges. So there you go. Sign up for Wes's events, and you may have a better chance. All right, next up is Jim. Jim, you are picking third in round number 1 here.
Man, it's gonna be a tough one for me, but I'm gonna have to go with Heidi.
Fair.
No bias there.
Boy, I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, I didn't either.
And imagine if he didn't do that right then. Oh my God, could you imagine? Oh,
Yeah.
So he's a smart man. I think he made a smart move there. All right, McNew, you were the last one of round number 1. Who is the last person to go from round
I'm
number
going to be honest that I fucked up my list. So I didn't know that last year's came in this year's. But
We went through this like 6 times.
Like literally, like 5 or 10 minutes ago.
You told us you finally figured it out.
no, now that I have it. But I'm going to go Bill Lewis. Bill should be on this list.
McNew's playing a different game than we are. So,
Sorry, guys.
all right. So now we have one more round, and we're going reverse order. That means McNew, you're first person in round number 2. So you're picking first here in round 2. Who is the last person that you get to put in?
Okay, so this is people from last year too.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so
It's anybody who's not in the Hall of Fame. So the Superfan Hall of Fame, which is there's 7 people that made it to the Hall of Fame last year and didn't get in. There'll be, and we put 8 in this year. Now it could be 8 that don't go in because we're only putting 1 person in out of 2
Okay.
years.
I'm going to put Kathy Cool in.
Kathy Cool. Okay. By the way, she wasn't part of last year, so I don't know why you needed to ask that. Just for the record, Kathy made it this year, so it really didn't apply to what you just asked. But okay, fair enough. Jim, do you understand what we're doing here, or do I need to explain this to you? Or?
So basically, this is fantasy football. Who we think is going to win next year's Super Bowl, right? That's,
Right.
I'm going with the Ewalds.
The Ewalds. Okay, that means the Ewalds are going to go in. All right, the Ewalds. Put them right there. All right, next up is Wes.
I'll go with my guy, Tony Front.
Tony. Okay.
Oh,
Tony. All right.
He moved to Kentucky, for God's sakes.
He did,
Yeah.
for God's sakes. Talk about commitment. Yeah.
Yes,
sure is it.
All right. Last but not least, Evan. By
Oh,
default here,
of course, Evan.
you get to pick someone, but you're also eliminating all the other ones. So it's, it's kind of a fun pick here. So, yes, you're picking one, but eliminating the field then.
Yes.
You want me to run through the list and see who's
Oh
available?
no, I'm good. I know exactly who's left. And everyone who's not going to be picked by me here, which is about 6 or so people. This is definitely not a personal attack, actually. I just have to choose one person.
There it is.
Yeah. But you should feel very, very
I mean, for
poorly
God's sakes,
about
Jim
yourself.
picked his wife. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. There's no biases here.
No.
I am gonna go with someone who I felt like performed very well last year. I'm gonna go with Kevin Majors.
Kevin Majors. Okay. That means Kevin makes it in. And the following are left out. Just were eliminated by Evan, by the way. Let's be very clear here. Evan eliminated all.
Well, hang on, Steve. While you're doing the list, I'm going to do a very light background. Na, 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 na,
Yeah.
na,
Kaylee,
na, na.
Brian Murphy, Tim Wheeler, George Rose, Dana the Dreamer 6, Mandy, Danny, and that's it. That's all the ones that just eliminated by Evan Van Zandt.
Congrats to the people moving on. Better luck next time to those.
You are eligible next year.
Still
Now
super
we'll try to get
fans.
McNew to understand how it works for next year.
I
But
tried so hard.
yes, so McNew had no clue this year. So
So
here's
for the
where we're at.
people that didn't make it, can we get them one of those little Peanuts Lucy stickers, with like the little
Yes.
football, and she flips it up? And,
Yes.
Oh
exactly.
no, not again.
So here's the matchups. Evan, you're going to be first. So be thinking about this. Heidi versus Bill Lewis. Again, this is who you want to go in the Hall of Fame.
Wait, can we run through top to bottom just off the list so I can delete people off here because I couldn't do it fast enough? So Rick went through, correct?
Yes. I'm going to be naming who goes through, but you're looking for a specific order? Or
Well, just the order that we had him listed to us so I can delete him real quick. So Dana the Dreamer didn't make it, correct?
correct?
Mandy Kaplan didn't make it.
Yes. Why do you need this? It's a bracket challenge. You're not eliminating
Okay.
anybody more.
That's
I'll
fine.
give
Go
you the
ahead.
matchup. So yes.
Because I'm in McNew mode. I'm sorry.
You don't need this. You're playing a different game. All right. So Heidi will take on Bill Lewis in round number 1. Round number 2, the legend takes on Tony Friend. Kevin Majors takes on the Ewalds. And finally, Kathy Cool takes on Bob Whitlatch. That's our matchups. Round number 1. We start out with Heidi versus Bill Lewis. Round number 1, Evan, you're first to go. What do you think, Heidi or Bill Lewis? This is for the Hall of Fame. This is a big deal. Let's not take this lightly. Let's not take this lightly and just goof around because this means a lot to the people, I would think. And it is a big deal and should be a big deal. This is like you are our biggest and best fans.
I feel like Bill's a solid choice here. I'm gonna go with Bill Lewis.
Bill Lewis goes up 1-0. A very smart move by Bill. He became a Patreon sponsor today. He has no idea what we're recording today, right?
He
You saw
did.
that come through,
I
right?
saw that come through
Yeah. All
today.
of a sudden, Bill is like, "Yeah, I come to all the events, but I just wanted to, maybe he knew. I don't know. Maybe someone tipped him off."
Maybe he knew.
Wes, you're next. Heidi or Bill Lewis? Superfan Hall of Fame.
Oh man, I'm going to go with Bill. He goes to a lot of the online events. He's involved in all the Facebook page pretty heavy. He's not that Heidi's not, but he's definitely a super fan.
He's a super fan. Okay, Bill Lewis goes up 2-0. But wait, there's hope here. Jim, Bill Lewis or Heidi?
This is a struggle with me because they're both great cuddlers. But I'm gonna have to give it to my wife on this one.
Wow. Wow.
She is a super
caved.
fan. I'll give her that.
He caved. All right, so Heidi
No,
versus
I
Bill
didn't
Lewis.
cave. She's a
Bill
super fan.
Lewis is up 2-1. McNew, you're next. Who do you think is the super fan Hall of Fame worthy out of those two, Heidi or Bill Lewis?
Bill.
Bill. That means Bill moves on. All right. Next up is the Legend versus Tony Friend. Round number 2. Wes, you're first. The Legend or Tony Friend? This is a tough one.
Wow, this is brutal. This could be
This
the
is-
finals.
Yeah.
Tony Friend
Two
versus
huge
Legend.
supporters of what we do right here.
They are. So to me,
that's why I'm not making fun of anybody, because these are all great fans.
Yeah,
I mean, in
I
reality,
think Tony-
these are the people that make it happen. What we do here, McNew. So I mean, I'd like to get them all in, but we've come up with this rules, and we got to
You
stick.
made these horrible lists that
Yeah, I should eliminate myself. I should just be host. Why am I playing this? All right, go ahead, Wes. Sorry.
This is a toss up to me, but I'm going to give it to the Legend. I think, I guess my deciding factor is probably more so selfishly that he attends more Dusty events.
Yeah.
But both of those
fair.
guys they could be in the
I mean, for
final.
God's sakes, we had a guy who says, I'm married to this woman. I'm going to vote her. So there can be bias involved.
Copy that.
Jim, you're next. The Legend or Tony Friend? We're talking Hall of
Man,
Fame.
again, both fantastic people, but you don't get to name the Legend for nothing. Like,
That's right.
that guy is at everything he can be at, and just your biggest fan, Steve, biggest supporter of the network. So I got to go with the Legend on this one.
Yeah. McNew, what do you think? The Legend or Tony Friend?
the legend.
The Legend.
Here for absolutely everything. The legend.
Yeah, everything.
Often the first person to sign up for everything. I mean, it's amazing. So, all right, Kevin Majors or the Ewalds, round number 3. Up first is Jim. Kevin Majors or the Ewalds?
Again, both great fans, but I'm gonna go with the Ewalds on this one.
Both supporters, they show up to events. I'll give them that.
Yes,
the Ewalds are at a lot of events. Kevin shows up at a lot too. It's amazing.
I see Ewalds at stuff all the time, and
yeah,
I think they're great promoters of you and the network. I think Kevin isn't, but I think they're more kind of vocal about it. So I'm gonna go with the Ewalds.
The Ewalds go up 1-0. McNew, what do you think? Kevin Majors or the Ewalds?
Ewalds. So I feel like last year was a tie between them and the Robinsons. So definitely going Ewalds.
Ewalds. Okay. So the Ewalds go up 2-0. This is a very, very tough one for me. I think these are all tough for me because again, I love all these people. They're great people. And that in mind, I'm not going to vote Kevin out here without at least tossing him a vote. So maybe you can say I'm just tossing him a vote. I don't know, but I'm going to give him life in this game. So I'm going to cast my vote for Kevin because he doesn't have a vote here, and he should. He is definitely a super fan. So he's down 2-1. Evan, you're next. The Ewalds or Kevin Majors?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Kevin. I put you in the bracket, but I'm also going to have to knock you out of the bracket. I'm going to go with the Ewalds.
You gave him life, and then you gave him death. All right, there you go. The Ewalds move on.
I giveth and I taketh away.
Yeah. Next up is Kathy Cool versus Bob Whitlatch. Round number 4. McNew, you're first. Kathy Cool or Bob Whitlatch?
Oh God, I hate this one. I hate it so much. Because I feel like I could toss a coin. It's very equal. They're both great people, but I'm gonna go Bob for this one.
Bob. Okay. Yes. I feel like they are equal in terms of super fans. And I feel like they both attend the same number of online events. They come to the same number of live events. I feel it's a complete toss-up. So what I'm going to do with this, who's been with me and the ABV network longer, and that has been Bob Whitlatch. I'm going to give him some seniority privileges here. And I think that I got to go him. And that means Bob goes up 2-0 over Kathy Cool. Round number 2. Round number 4. Bob is up 2-0. Evan, you're next. Kathy Cool versus Bob Whitlatch. Bob is up 2-0.
Yep. And just like last year, I'm going to have to say goodbye to Kathy and move forward Bob Whitlatch. I do love Kathy. It's not about who I like.
Boy, he was saying between shows, he's like, I hope if I get a chance to get that cool out
I'm
of there,
knocking Kathy out.
I'm taking it.
Yeah.
All right, our final 4 looks like this. Bill Lewis will take on the Legend. The Ewalds take on Bob Whitlatch. So I think it's an honor to be in the final 4. I want to remind those that are listening to this. That's huge. It's unfortunate we have to eliminate 2 here, and that's what's going to happen right here, right now as we begin. Round 5, unfortunately, starts with me, Bill Lewis or the Legend. Both of these guys are great. Super supporters. Most of these events, those 2 are always at. I mean, that's like 1 and 1A, really. That being said, the Legend just, to me, gets a little bit of an edge. And I think even Bill would tell you that. I'll be honest. There's no shame in losing to the Legend here. He just comes to everything. And I think everybody knows that. He buys stuff by the case. He's a great supporter, as is Bill, but I think the Legend has it slightly. So I'm giving him my vote. Evan, you're next.
Yeah, I'm going with Rick the Legend Brenner right here. There's not much else you can say, right? Like, both great guys. See them on almost every single event I'm on. They come to all my game night, like, just great people. And I'm giving the slight edge that I see Rick more.
Right.
And that's a little St. Louis bias, but I end up seeing Rick more. So naturally in my head, I have that perception.
All right, Wes, here's where we're at. The Legend's up 2-0 over Bill Lewis. What do you think? Bill Lewis or the Legend?
Again, both of these guys could probably be in the finale. You could probably argue everybody could be in the finale. So I'm going to throw Bill Lewis a vote just because I think he deserves a vote. I think I know how this is going to end. And I don't think it's going to harm Rick any. So I'm going to give Bill a vote.
Fair enough. I agree. I like that, because this is very tough. Very tough. I don't want to make light of anyone and their contributions, because these are all big contributors to what we do. And yes, I like the idea of tossing someone a vote, even if you think it's going to go the other way. Jim, you're next. The Legend or Bill Lewis? Bill Lewis is down 2-1. Here's where we're at. So Bill would be eliminated if you vote for the Legend, or you can send it to a tiebreaker.
I'm not going to send it to a tiebreaker, as much as I think Bill is totally deserving of this. Rick has been there from the beginning. Being a local guy here, he's at your Total Wine events. He's at Bourbon nights with us for so many nights. He's been there, forever. He's probably a big part of a lot of the people you have supporting you now in the St. Louis area. So he has an advantage because of being here, but I don't think Bill would even argue that. Like, it's hard to argue with Rick's fandom and what he thinks of the network and thinks of you.
Not only does he show up, he's a big advocate in terms of when he talks to people. I mean, how many fans do we get just because of the Legend out, saying, hey, you got to listen to this guy and come on his events. And I'm
not saying that Bill doesn't, but I think Rick's doing it longer. I just think Rick's been there, for as long as I remember. Rick's been around us, and just you couldn't ask for a better guy to represent you. So there you go.
That means the Legend will move to the finale. So that's exciting. Round 6, Evan, you're going to be first here. The Ewalds versus Bob Whitlatch. The Ewalds versus Bob Whitlatch. Two different personalities here. The Ewalds, very outgoing. Definitely super fans. Yeah. Well, I'm putting the couples together because they kind of all both have the same personality too. They're both outgoing. They're both big supporters. And then Bob Whitlatch, big supporter, but a quiet guy. So like if we're going to an event, you're going to see Dave talking, you're going to see Adina talking. They're going to be life of the party type of people. And Bob Whitlatch might not be the life of the party type of guy. But I you know what? At the end of the night, if we did some sort of survey, they're both having the same amount of fun. It's just two different styles and personalities, really.
Mm-hmm.
So, but all super fans. The Ewalds, again, collectively, I know it's two people, but for our purposes, they are one. And then Bob Whitlatch, and again, they've probably been about the same amount of time too, so that's equal as well. So all of that in mind, that's the background that you have to deal with, Evan, as you make your decision here: the Ewalds or Bob Whitlatch.
Right, and sometimes a slight or minor difference is the difference from you being a super fan and you being considered the next Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give the edge here to the Ewalds.
Ewalds. That means the Ewalds go up 1-0. Round number 6. Wes, you're next.
Bob Whitlatch.
Bob Whitlatch has tied it up. It's 1-1. The Ewalds and Bob Whitlatch. Jim, you're next.
Honestly, for the reasons that you stated before, like the differences in their personalities, I'm going to go with the Ewalds because I think they're more of an advocate for you. They're more vocal about their support of you and the network. And I think Bob's a great guy and does great stuff, but I just think they just promote your network more, making them more of a super fan.
Okay. That means the Ewalds are up 2-1. What do you think, McNew? The Ewalds or Bob Whitlatch?
I love Bob. He's one of my favorite people to talk to at live events, but Ewalds, for the virtual things we do, they're at everything Ewalds.
Ewalds. Okay. So here's where we're at. Round number 7. This is it. This is the second person or people. Again, we have a couple here. The Legend will be taking on the Ewalds to become the second Hall of Famers for the group here. So we'll see what happens. Jim, you're going to be first, weighing in. Superfan Hall of Famers. Is it the Legend or the Ewalds?
Man, this is a tough thing to be involved in here right now. All good people, all super fans, but it's hard for me to go against the Legend. Again, he's been here from the beginning, and there's nobody who is a bigger fan of yours.
Yeah. All right. That means the Legend is up 1-0. McNew, what do you think, the Legend or the Ewalds?
I love the Ewalds. They contribute so much. Our cocktail contests, live events, virtual events, they're there for a lot of them. They contribute a lot. But I feel like we're really not the ABV network if the Legend isn't there. So I got to go Legend. He makes a lot for us. He adds a lot of personality, a lot of heart. The Legend for sure.
The Legend. That means the Legend's up 2-0. And what I'd love to do right now is toss a vote to the Ewalds because I think they're great people and they deserve that. But you know what? I can't. I cannot do that. I have to give it to the Legend because he is the Rock, and he proudly stepped aside last year when he didn't win. He's like, hey, I lost to the Robinsons. I couldn't lose to nicer people. I think the Ewalds will have their time and probably next year, in fact. But you know what? This year, the Legend is a juggernaut. He's already signed up for Key West next year. I mean, this guy, it never stops.
Like,
I mean, the guy is a super fan.
Isn't there? Like, I don't think our events are complete if he's not there.
I agree. It's not an event until the Legend's there. It's been tough to see him dealing with some health issues. Hopefully they can get that under control because I'd love to see the Legend back to being the Legend. But I'm just glad to have him around. And I love the fact that we can give him this award. He should be in the Hall of Fame. And he's going in the Hall of Fame this year. He is the 2022 inductee, Rick the Legend Brenner. How about that? Hey, he deserves it.
Oh, yeah.
He deserves it. Yeah. If he goes on this list, which Evan, you put him in number 1, he wins this thing. I mean, we went through the process, and it's a difficult process because you like all the people.
We even have to do the process. Like he's
Yeah.
Yeah. My wife's on this list, and I voted the Legend over Heidi.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think Heidi could even be mad about it. It's one of those things where he's so deserving of it.
Yes.
Even though you want to go in yourself. And Heidi wants to go in as much as anybody. I get that. But, to lose to the Legend, that's okay, I think.
Yeah, 100%. There's not many people better, like that, just better people than him.
Right. Yeah.
He's a good guy and just means well and treats everybody well and just has done so much to support you.
Right.
So, like, that's what it comes down to in this vote is like who's supporting and advocating for the ABV network, and you're not going to find a better advocate than Rick out there.
And I mean,
it's something I'm like, who do I want to see tonight? Who am I excited to see at this event? It is Rick and it is Mr. Bill. I'm like, if those two are there, I know it's going to be the best night. Those are the two people I want to see.
Absolutely. And I owe a lot to Rick. And I know a lot to Jim too. I mean, Jim came into my life in a time when I'm trying to get in the bourbon biz, and I don't have any sort of steady income. I've got sponsors that come and go, and Jim gave me, his classroom, and said, "Hey, you can whatever you sell that for, you get to keep." And that gave me monthly income. And you know what? The first person to become part of that was the Legend. It was him and his wife and his daughter Jen. He'd pay for 3 tickets every time, and that meant a lot to me. I mean, those 3 tickets, knowing that I had that income coming every month, believe it or not, that's important. And then I get Danny and his wife.
Wes that story before he voted me out in the first round.
I'm sorry, I missed that. What you said there.
I said he should have told Wes that story before he voted me out in the first round.
Yeah, there you go. Well,
then the amount of people who are just hanging on, like that too. Like we've got friends who just show up to your classes thinking they just come in.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. But yes, good stuff. So there you go. The Legend. Congratulations to you, my friend. You are in the Superfan Hall of Fame. That's pretty exciting.
Well deserved, buddy. Well deserved.
Yes.
Congratulations.
We'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Evan, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Facebook, Evan Van Spoik, or on Instagram, Wit Wisdom Whiskey.
All right, Wes.
You can find me on Instagram at bourbon_West. You can find me on Twitter at bourbonwest, one word.
All right, Jim.
You can find me on Facebook at Jim Fazda or on Instagram at FazJim, FAZZJIM.
All right, McNew.
I'm on Instagram at McNew ABV.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. Check it out because everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, which there's a ton of them, blogs, shop. We just ordered a bunch of new stuff. So Justine and I just put in a huge order. That's as we record this. So by the time this comes out, I'm sure all that stuff will be stocked in the store. So check us out at abvnetwork.com. McNew, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review. That includes comments. It helps me people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
All right, great job today, gang. For our audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Outro.
Cheers.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Another friend of ours is the Goldstein family at Goldstone Mill. The Goldsteins offer a variety of heritage and heirloom grains to make the finest whiskeys in the world. Plus, they are more than just a grain company. They are truly consultants to make sure the grains they are providing to you or your business meet your highest expectations. Additionally, they work with mills around the country, ensuring shipping is as low as possible for their customers. If you're a distillery, brewery, or even doing this at home, Goldstone can assist you. Check them out at goldstonemill.com, call them at 217-254-6613, or check in via email at hello@goldstonemill.com.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.